Get out.
Get out.
In the beginning of the show, it was all about how Vecna was possessing Will, and now it's like this taste of your own medicine. Roles reversed, where Will takes over him.
It's this psychic battle between our characters in the real world and Vecna in the Vecna mindscape.
We did it, and it worked. And that was because of you.
He fights back, like that's what we've been wanting to see.
At the end of episode 4, we reveal that Will has powers, and we always knew that was sort of the major reveal for the season. But in terms of a turning point in their battle against Vecna, really, episode 5 is the big one.
Max and Holly are the characters being hunted by Vecna through this memoryscape that Max has been hiding out in. Will taps in and is trying to save them by taking Vecna on literally like a pugilist, in the ring.
When we were shooting at the Squawk exterior, it was about kind of finding the best background for Will in this intense moment, and we decided to stage it so we have the lights of the Squawk in the background to give us some depth and some separation. We have the tower giving him a key light on his face, and we always wanted to kind of feel the presence of the other characters in this moment. So we came up with this more circular blocking where they're surrounding him and watching what he's going through.
Joyce really treats Will like a little kid. There's this guilt that she wasn't home and she didn't know he was missing for a very long time. But we wanted to have a turn here for her where she's seen what he can do at the end of episode 4 by snapping the Demogorgon's limbs. Knowing that his mom is behind him now gives Will sort of this extra strength and confidence to actually confront Vecna.
Kill the bastard.
I was really excited for this season because it was the first time where Will kind of earns this trust from his mom, which we never had in earlier seasons. And
when I read that, I was like, this makes no sense. This goes against all of my instincts as a mother. And then we did it, and it worked. And that was because of you. I would just sort of fall into your eyes.
Thank you for trusting me.
We talked through what the physical motions would be, literally what Noah would play as Will going through these beats, like attacking Vecna. How does that work? That's snapping his bones and making him sit up and kind of puppeting him. It's Noah who took us to that nth degree in his performance.
It is working.
This was scary for me because it was shot before the maxi, so it was before we established any of Will's powers. I think it was fun kind of just playing with the physicality of it. I was doing the movements and I was grabbing his head and facing it and just taking my mind and kind of my consciousness like out of my body and getting lost in it and becoming something else. It's hard to like come back to earth and be like, oh my God, what did I just do?
We shot Noah's side of it, and then we shot Jamie Campbell Bower's side of it on another set on another day. So it's not like they're physically even in the same space.
No, we did such a great job on this night.
You need to run!
I remember watching this with Frank, because obviously I have to emulate what you're doing.
Oh yeah, I'm curious how this happened.
It's funny, you can think about how other people are gonna do things. And so I was like, all right, well, I wonder if he's gonna like, just kind of ramp it, just like maybe start at like 6 or 7 and then get to like 11. And I watched the take, I'm like, oh no, this kid's at 11 from like the word go.
Jamie, he always gives a fantastic performance. What's tricky about that side of the scene is he actually appears in 3 different guises and 3 different versions of Henry.
With him coming down the stairs, we used a crane that had the ability to record the motion of the camera so that we could change Jamie into the other costume, repeat the same exact camera movement so the cut is seamless between the 2 shots.
We had Henry morphing from friendly orderly into Mr. What's-It, and we knew we were gonna match the placement of his body language and the way he was gonna walk. Luckily, we still had the bloody outfit from last season. It's after he's taken the belt off, he has the injury from taking the tracker out of his neck. It was nice to kind of infuse a little bit of like the Mr. Rogers flair. When the bros described him originally, they described Mr. What's-It as a friendly, creepy Mr. Rogers.
With Vecna, we get him pretty much 90% done in the makeup room. And then when we do come to set, it involves putting his hand on, making sure all the dots are on his suit for the visual effects, and just glossying up the makeup parts that we do, which are his face and his arm. We make sure he has mouth stain, so his teeth aren't perfect.
We discussed how is he actually going to transform? Is he going to slowly morph from one to another? Is it going to be pieces at a time?
If I can shoot something old school and make it work in cutting or cheating an angle, that's more satisfying for me. You know, you do it in camera if you can. I said, well, if lights are flickering, why don't we do it in cuts? Why don't we literally do it in those moments when there's a few frames of black? You can literally change out the character.
But of course, it doesn't go completely to black, so it was pretty important that Jamie be able to do these performances almost identically.
We weren't asking Jamie to act opposite himself. We were asking Jamie to do the exact same action that he had previously done so that we could transition into himself.
We used this system of overlays so we could see both images at the same time and adjust our camera if we needed to, or ask Jamie to slide in one way or the other.
I had an earwig in my ear with a click track.
It's a metronomic click that he uses to time out his performance.
Max, if you can hear me, you need to run!
That's so cool.
It had to be literally perfect. So then I had to run to the monitor once I'd done it as Vecna. And it wasn't like the crew could do anything. It wasn't like they could change any lighting or like swing a lens. So all I could feel was like pressure of keeping the crew waiting whilst I'm looking at the monitor.
That's the worst.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
And you were in 3 different characters? Like, what a challenge.
Yeah, it was gnarly.
And matching to something else.
And matching to something else.
That's insane.
This is the kind of scene that makes you realize that it isn't just about his ability to evoke emotions in the audience, but it's about the sheer technical talent that he brings to the performance. It was chilling on the day, but it made you realize, like, oh, this scene is going to work.
The fox is caught.
Once you've got inside of me and broken my leg, that's where I lose control of who I am.
When your head like turns and you're like saying the lines, what were you thinking?
I was thinking of you, actually, weirdly enough. I think fear was the main thing that I could really feel. Literally, it's forceful. It's like I don't understand what's going on, and you're pulling me over. It's really annoying because I'm not used to having you or anyone else inside my mind. I'm used to being in other people's minds, and it's that power thing that we talk about.
Which is why it's so interesting, because like in the beginning of the show, it was all about Vecna, which we know now was possessing Will, and in season 2, I was possessed by the monster, and now it's like this taste of your own medicine. Roles reversed, where Will takes over him and possesses him and controls you, and it's like such a he fights back. Like that's what we've been wanting to see.
I don't like losing, Noah, and you make me lose.
Yeah.
Get out.
Get out!
At the end of the day, Will is hurt here. He gets the upper hand on Vecna, but then Vecna pushes him out of the mine and injures him and sends him into some sort of comatose state, which makes things more complicated for Joyce because she finally lets him go and you think everything's gonna work out, and then it doesn't. It's more complicated than that.
Will, come back to me. Will. I remember when we were first starting the show, I really sort of fought for her to be as flawed as she could be. I didn't want her to be handling everything in the right way. My favorite characters are the ones that are not perfect.
Good night to Jamie.
It's a pretty thrilling sequence. It's this psychic battle between our characters in the real world and Vecna in sort of the Vecna mindscape. I know the audience and the fans are going to be blown away. And that's the Duffers. That's Matt and Ross, man. They come up with some of the craziest, challenging stuff to shoot, but the results are beyond breathtaking.